wait before you scroll past this. Look down at what you're wearing right now. If it's beige, gray, or black, I need you to stay for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to show you might be the reason people stopped really seeing times you. Not because you've done anything wrong, because nobody ever told you the truth about what happens to color after 60. Here's a question I want you to sit with for a second. Have you ever noticed that somewhere around 50 or 60, society hands you this very specific, very unspoken dress code? Fade into the background. Wear the safe neutrals. Blend in with the wallpaper. And if you dare to push back against that, overcompensate with a giant, chaotic leopard print that practically screams, "Look at me, I'm still here." Sound familiar? Here's the part nobody in the fashion industry wants to admit out loud. Looking expensive, looking chic, looking magnetically attractive past 60 has absolutely nothing to do with buying a brand new wardrobe. It has nothing to do with hiding your body, and it definitely has nothing to do with trying to look younger than you are. It comes down to one single, almost boringly simple science: color contrast. Here's why. As we cross into our 60s, our bodies do something fascinating. Our skin undertone shifts. The natural contrast between our hair, our eyes, and our skin softens, especially if you're beautifully embracing your natural silver or gray hair. And because of that quiet biological shift, the exact colors that made you glow at 30, the stark blacks, the clinical bright whites, can now do the opposite. They can cast shadows under your chin. They can accentuate fine lines. They can make you look tired even after a perfect 8 hours of sleep. So today, we're not just talking about clothes. We're building you a real, honest, over 6-0 style guide, one color combination at a time. I'm counting down 7 highly strategic pairings, starting with good and building all the way to the one combination that behaves almost like an instant, non-surgical facelift. And I'll be straight with you. Number 1 is the one my community messages me about the most. So even if you only watch one part of this video, stay for that one. And before we start, if you've ever felt like you disappear a little more each year, hit subscribe on Stylish 60 Plus right now. Not because I'm asking for the sake of asking, but because everything on this channel exists to make sure that never happens to you again. All right, let's count down. Number 7, emerald green and crisp white, the Instant Vacation palette. We're starting the countdown with a combination I like to call the Instant Vacation palette, emerald green paired with crisp white. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. Didn't I just say a minute ago that stark white can look harsh on mature skin? Yes, I did. Gold star if you caught that. Because here's the truth, if you wear bright, clinical white head to toe, it absolutely can wash you out and throw unflattering shadows across your face. But here's the loophole almost nobody talks about. When you pair that same white with a jewel tone as rich and deeply pigmented as emerald green, something shifts. The emerald acts like a visual anchor, pulling all the energy right back into your face, while the white becomes a clean, razor-sharp backdrop that makes the green practically glow. Quick gut check. Actually think about the last time you wore all white. Did anyone say you looked washed out or tired even though you felt fine? That's not your skin failing you. That's just white doing what white does once your undertone shifts. It's not a flaw, it's chemistry. Emerald green is a bit of a psychological powerhouse too. It represents wealth, vitality, nature. And as our skin naturally loses a touch of its radiance with age, emerald acts almost like a color corrector, warming up brown eyes, making green and hazel eyes pierce right through a room, and creating a genuinely striking contrast against gray or silver hair. If you've been searching for the best color palette for silver hair, write this one down, because it's one of the few jewel tones that photographs beautifully against every shade of gray, from salt and pepper to full platinum. Wear it wrong though, and it can look costumey instead of chic. So here's how you style it so it reads expensive, not eccentric. Keep the white structured, think heavyweight linen, a tailored blazer, crisp cotton, poplin, never anything flimsy or see-through. Keep the emerald close to your face, ideally on top in a silk blouse or a beautifully tailored knit. And finish it off with warm gold jewelry, which adds a sun-kissed richness that elevates the whole look instantly. Pull this combination out for your next lunch date and just watch how differently the room responds to you. But as good as this one is, it's only number 7, because what's coming at number 4 is going to completely change how you think about a color most women over 60 have quietly banned from their closets entirely. Number 6, royal blue and warm camel, the editorial power pairing. Moving up to number 6, and this one is for the woman who wants to look wealthy but with an editorial high fashion edge. This is royal blue and warm camel. We all know camel is basically the undisputed queen of expensive looking neutrals. It's the color of classic tailored coats of luxury leather. But, and this is the part almost nobody mentions, camel worn head to toe, especially on warm undertones, can start to feel a little too quiet, a little too expected. It can even wash you out into one long monochrome blur, which is exactly the trap so many flattering outfits for seniors lists fall into. They tell you to wear neutrals and just stop there. That's where royal blue comes in. Fashion stylists sometimes call it a high vibrational, color saturated, intense, deeply regal. And because blue and orange toned browns sit almost directly across from each other on the color wheel, they're complementary, which means, quite literally, they electrify one another. The camel tones down the loudness of the blue wakes the camel back up. For women over 60 specifically, this pairing does something almost clinical. Royal blue reflects a cooling light upward, which neutralizes redness in the skin and makes the whites of your eyes look genuinely brighter. Meanwhile, the camel keeps everything grounded in that old money structure. The formula? Let camel do about 70% of the heavy lifting, your coat, your trousers, your cardigan, and let royal blue take the remaining 30% as a silk blouse or a structured knit underneath. Introduce it through texture, too. A royal blue knit against a rich cognac leather skirt is an incredible combination almost nobody is doing right now. And because these tones are already so rich, you genuinely don't need much makeup. A swipe of mascara, a neutral warm lip, and you're done. Now, before we go any further, if this is helping you rethink your closet even a little, do me a favor and drop a comment telling me which number you're most excited to try. I read every single one, and it genuinely shapes what I make next. And if you're the type who likes to have something to reference later, this is also the kind of video worth saving because we're about to get into the 3 combinations that get the most "I can't believe that actually works" reactions in my comment section. Number 5, charcoal, gray, and burgundy, the CEO of style. Number 5 is what I like to call the CEO of style palette. Charcoal gray paired with a rich burgundy or wine. Let's talk about black for a second, because we've all been told our entire lives that black is the ultimate slimming, foolproof chic color. But once you cross into your 60s, harsh matte black sitting right next to your face can behave almost like a bad fluorescent bulb. It casts shadows under the eyes, it highlights hollows, it can make you look exhausted even when you're feeling genuinely fantastic, and worse, it can quietly add years to how people perceive you before you've even said a word. Here's the good news. You don't have to give up that dark, moody, powerful energy. You just upgrade to charcoal gray. Charcoal carries all the depth and tailoring power of black, but because it's woven with softer white and silver threads, it reflects light in a way that's dramatically more forgiving on mature skin. It reads as expensive, academic, deeply luxurious, On its own, though, charcoal can risk feeling a little corporate, a little flat. That's exactly why we inject it with burgundy, a deeply saturated, romantic red with blue undertones. It gives you all the feminine power of a classic red without the loud, flashing intensity. Pair the two together, and the gray grounds the wine while the wine sets the gray on fire. It reads as intentional, bespoke, like you have a stylist on retainer. Texture is everything here. A chunky heathered charcoal sweater against a sleek burgundy satin slip skirt that contrast between cozy knit and liquid shine is hands down one of the most accidentally wealthy combinations you can wear. And this is the one pairing on this list where your makeup gets to join the party. A sheer wine or berry lip stain ties the entire look together instantly. While the earlier combinations loved warm gold jewelry, this one calls for the opposite silver, white gold, or platinum. And here's a real answer to a question I get constantly in the comments: what are the best colors for gray hair over 60? This is one of them. If you have silver or gray hair, this specific pairing with silver jewelry will make you look like you stepped straight out of a fashion editorial, not like you're still trying. We're over the halfway mark now, and I promise the next two are the ones almost nobody expects, especially the one I'm about to tell you a very real story about. Number 4, mustard yellow and olive green, the forbidden combination. Number 4 is for my creative souls, the women who want to look effortlessly stylish without looking like they cut a page out of a fashion magazine. This is mustard yellow and rich olive green. I can already hear the collective gasp through the screen. Mustard yellow? Over 60? Stay with me. So many mature women have banished yellow from their closets entirely because they tried a bright neon lemon yellow once and it washed them out completely. But mustard isn't lemon. Mustard carries a deep, golden, earthy undertone. It's warm, it's rich. And paired with olive green, it creates what I'd call an organic luxury aesthetic that reads as custom tailored, even when it's off the rack. Olive green is what stylists sometimes call a chameleon neutral. It grounds an outfit the way navy or brown would, but with a muted, deliberate pigment that feels far more sophisticated. Together, mustard and olive are basically nature's own high-end palette. Think of an autumn forest at golden hour. If you've ever wondered how to look younger with color without wearing a single young trend, this pairing is your answer. It works purely by reintroducing warmth into your complexion, not by chasing anything trendy. If your skin's been feeling a little dull lately, this combination acts almost like an all-day candlelit glow. If mustard still feels intimidating, here's the trick. Keep it away from your face at first. Let olive be your top or jacket, and bring the mustard in lower, through a flowing midi skirt, a suede handbag, or a silk scarf. This combination looks most expensive in matte, textured fabrics, suede, linen, chunky wool, and it practically begs for tortoiseshell accessories, which bridge the gap between the two tones beautifully. This is the combination that gets the most disbelieving comments right up until someone actually tries it. Which brings me to something I want to share with you because I think it says more than any styling tip could. A woman named Carol has been part of this community for a little over a year now. She messaged me back in the spring, and she said something that genuinely stuck with me. She said she'd worn the same rotation of black, navy, and gray for almost 15 years. Not because she loved those colors, but because somewhere along the way she'd absorbed the idea that loud colors were for younger women and muted was simply what you did once you hit a certain age. She said she felt, in her words, like wallpaper at her own daughter's wedding. After watching one of these color videos, she told me she almost didn't buy the olive green jacket she'd been eyeing. She stood in the fitting room for a long time, she said, feeling almost silly for even considering it. But She bought it anyway and paired it nervously, she admitted, with a mustard scarf for a friend's birthday dinner a few weeks later. She wrote back to me the next morning. 3 different people at that dinner, people she'd known for years, told her she looked radiant. One asked where she'd been getting her hair done, even though her hair hadn't changed at all. Carol said it wasn't a dramatic movie-style transformation. Nobody gasped. But she said she felt like people actually looked at her while she was talking instead of through her, and that small shift, she said, changed how she carried herself for the rest of the night. I share that story not because color is magic. It isn't. But the way people respond to you when you stop hiding that part is very, very real. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to circle back to Carol one more time before we're done. 3 more to go, and if you like the way this video is going, this is a good moment to hit that like button. It's a small thing on your end, but it's the single biggest signal that tells YouTube to put this in front of another woman who needs it. Okay, moving on. Number 3, blush pink and soft cream, the column of soft light. Number 3 is a monochrome pairing blush pink and soft cream, and I saved it for the back half of this list because it is in many ways the direct antidote to the invisible woman myth. Here's the thing, most people get backwards. When people think about standing out, they think loud, bright, aggressive. But the highest form of chic, the kind worn by royalty, by billionaires, by top fashion editors, is something stylists sometimes call the column of soft light. Instead of hiding in dark colors, you lean entirely into a palette of pale, airy luxury. Now, let's address the obvious question. Can a woman over 60 wear pink without it reading as juvenile? Absolutely, if it's the right pink. We're staying miles away from hot pink or anything resembling Barbie pink. We're talking blush, rose quartz, dusty rose shades with a subtle gray or beige undertone that read as sophisticated rather than sweet. Pair that with a soft, buttery cream, never a stark clinical white, and something interesting happens. It creates a kind of visual filter over your skin. It reflects light upward, softens shadows, hides fatigue, and gives your complexion a romantic flush no highlighter could replicate. This is genuinely one of the fastest fixes if you've ever looked in the mirror after a rough night's sleep and felt like your face was telling on you. Wrong colors amplify that. This combination erases it. 2 rules make this work. First, don't try to match the shades perfectly. Play with depth. A slightly deeper dusty rose trouser under a lighter, airier cream top prevents the look from reading as a uniform and instead gives it real dimension. Second, commit to one color, top and bottom, to create a continuous vertical line. Cream trousers, cream top, and then a blush duster coat thrown over the top. That unbroken column instantly elongates your silhouette. This palette thrives on high-quality fabric, matte silk, cashmere, linen. Avoid anything shiny or synthetic, which can drag this elegant combination down from luxury to cheap almost instantly. When you walk into a room in blush and cream, you're not screaming for attention. You simply look like the calmest, most confident, most quietly wealthy woman in it. 2 left. And if you've made it this far, stick with me, because I promise you the next one is worth the wait. If you skip to the end and miss how these last 2 actually work together, you'll miss the whole point of this video. Number 2, deep purple, the color of quiet authority. Number 2 isn't a 2-color pairing so much as it's a single shade that behaves like an entire personality shift. Deep purple, worn as a statement. For centuries, purple was reserved for royalty and nobility simply because it was the rarest, most expensive dye to produce. Even now, something in our subconscious still reads purple as importance, as mystique, as dignity. Psychologically, purple blends 2 emotional extremes, the intensity of red and the calm stability of blue, which is exactly why people who wear it are often perceived as wise, creative, and just slightly enigmatic. It's a color that invites curiosity rather than demanding attention. It says quietly, I know exactly who I am and I don't need to shout to prove it. Not every purple works on every woman though, and this is really a question of basic color analysis, matching the shade to your undertone rather than the trend. If you're fair skinned, lean towards soft lavenders and light violets to bring out warmth. Medium skin tones glow next to mauve and plum, and deep skin tones come alive next to a rich eggplant or true royal purple. If the idea of wearing purple head to toe feels like too much, start small: a deep plum lipstick, a silk scarf, a single statement blouse. You'll notice the shift faster than you'd expect. And here's what's genuinely interesting about purple specifically. It's one of the only colors on this list that reads as time's reinvention, which honestly feels like exactly the right color for whatever chapter you're stepping into next. And now, the one you've been waiting for. The color my community writes to me about more than any other, and the one this entire video is really about. Number Haitian Classic Red, the Head Turner. Number 1, and it's not close, Classic Red. Red is bold, it's unapologetic, and out of every color in this entire countdown, it is the one most consistently proven across decades of research to make people notice you, not eventually, but almost instantly. Here's why. Red is tied to some of our most basic biological wiring. It's the color of vitality, of energy, of blood, and life itself, which is exactly why the eye is drawn to it before it's drawn to almost anything else. It's why red shows up in advertising, in luxury branding, and sports jerseys. It grabs attention because it's built to... But here's the part that matters more than how others see you. It's how you feel wearing it. Multiple studies on color and self-perception have found that people who wear red report feeling more powerful, more attractive, more self-assured almost immediately. Putting on red is, in a strange way, a psychological posture shift. It's the equivalent of standing up a little straighter or making eye contact you might normally avoid. And that confidence, it's contagious. People respond to it before they've even registered why. Not every red suits every woman, of course. If you're fair or cool toned, look for blue-based reds, cherry, wine. If you're warm toned, lean into coral, tomato, brick. And if you have a deeper skin tone, rich crimson, burgundy, or oxblood will be your most flattering range. One of the biggest myths about style after 60 is that boldness has to be dialed down. It doesn't. Red is timeless, and worn correctly, it adds exactly the right amount of impact without ever tipping into overwhelming. You don't need to wear it head to toe, a red handbag against a neutral outfit, a classic red lip, a single red coat thrown over black trousers. Any of these is enough to shift the entire energy of a room. Remember Carol from a few minutes ago? The olive and mustard story? A few months after that dinner, she told me she finally tried red, just a lipstick at first, nothing dramatic. She said the woman at the pharmacy counter, someone who'd rung her up dozens of times before without much more than a nod, complimented her out of nowhere and asked what she was up to that looked so good. Carol laughed, telling me this. She said, I wasn't up to anything. I just wore lipstick. But that's exactly the point. Small color choices create real human reactions. Every single time. If you've never worn red before, here's my challenge to you, genuinely. Pick one piece this week, a scarf, a lipstick, even just a pair of earrings. And notice, do you stand a little taller? Does someone hold eye contact a beat longer than usual? Small data points, but they add up to something real. This is exactly why red sits at number 1. Not because it's the most complicated combination, or the most unexpected, but because out of everything on this list, it is the fastest, most reliable way to remind the world and honestly to remind yourself that you are still very much here. So there you have it, 7 color combinations, counted all the way down to the one I believe every woman over 60 should own at least one piece of. If you've been feeling even a little invisible lately, I promise you it is not about your age. It was never about your age. It's about contrast, intention, and the confidence to stop apologizing for wanting to be seen. Before you go, I want you to do 3 things for me. First, comment below with the number you're trying first, because I genuinely read every single one and it tells me exactly what to cover next. Second, if this video shifted even one thing about how you think about your closet, make sure you've hit that like button, because it's still the fastest way to help another woman find this. And third, if you're not already subscribed to Stylish 60 Plus, this is the moment, because next week I'm breaking down the exact hair color and clothing color pairings that take years off your look without a single trip to the salon. And if you're not subscribed, YouTube may never show it to you. I don't want that to be the video you miss, because here on Stylish 60 Plus, we don't do invisible. We do bold, we do intentional, and we do it exactly on our own terms. I'll see you in the next one. Stay confident and keep shining.